So this is the Logitech Harmony Ultimate, list for $350. It's a universal remote. You probably find it for about $300 these days. And it's in the long line of Harmony remotes that promise to be easy to set up and then flawlessly control all of the things in your media center. I've had a Logitech Harmony 800 for years, and I've been ready to replace it because the buttons are starting to wear out. One of the cool things about the Logitech Harmony Ultimate is that it is RF, Bluetooth, and infrared. So we'll get to that in a second. I want to talk about the setup, though. Big deal with Harmonies is you go online, you tell the app what devices you have, and then you can create profiles for those devices, and you can create what are called activities. So if you press Watch TV, the remote will automatically turn on the television and the satellite box or the cable box or the DVR, whatever else it needs to do that. If you want to say, I want to watch Roku, it'll switch to the Roku input, and it'll transfer your remote to be able to control the Roku box, whatever. The online system of setup has never been good from Harmony, and I would argue it may have gotten worse. It's a long install process because you have to do a plug-in from Logitech, and they use Silverlight, which gave me no end of heck trying to get started on this thing. And it's just slow and buggy and confusing. And for some reason, HDMI 4, which was working fine on my old Logitech Harmony remote, was no longer an option. And I had to reprogram a new thing. So absolutely hate the setup app. The setup of the Logitech Harmony Ultimate is a little more complicated than the usual one because you have this little Logitech Harmony hub. So you have to plug this in, set it up with your Wi-Fi network. You will need a Wi-Fi network to make this work. And then you have to put infrared repeaters around to broadcast the infrared. Now, I was a little skeptical about this because I've tried one of these kinds of systems before and I didn't like it. However, it wasn't that bad to set up, and it actually worked. A lot of these infrared repeaters are a little sketchy. This one works really well. Also, you get a much better charger. The old one that I had was flat, and it would always beep because it would get warped and it wouldn't work. This one sits right in there really nicely. So it's a much better charging system. But the best part about this Logitech Harmony remote is that you don't have to point it at the television. Because it used to be you'd have to hold that remote and wait for it to turn on the television, now turn on the VCR, now change the input, and you couldn't hold it down until the infrared was done sending all the commands. This one, because this is connected to the Wi-Fi, just sends the command over there, and then it takes care of everything else for you. You don't have to deal with it. You can actually use an app on your phone as long as you're connected to the same Wi-Fi network as your Harmony Ultimate hub. So that, in addition to a much better keyboard layout, and they've improved the keyboard layouts over the years, but these all make sense. These buttons have the common terms like OK and guide and DVR. And then the buttons that are specific to your particular device will show up in this touchscreen. Also, what shows up in this touchscreen, my favorite thing ever, these short keys for different channels. So I can program in my favorite channels. Instead of having to know what channel sci-fi is on, I just scroll to the sci-fi icon and press it, and I can switch channels so much faster. Overall, Logitech Harmony Ultimate is an absolute buy. And I say that without reservation or changing my review that the setup is making me stutter. It's so bad. I'm hoping that Harmony will make that better. I'm hoping they'll get rid of Silverlight. I'm hoping they'll work on that user interface. But even with it, you can make it work. You can make it work correctly. And once you do, this is a dream for controlling all of your home theater setups. You don't even have to get up. The remote is across the room. You can just pick up your phone if it's next to you and use the remote. This is probably the best universal remote I've ever used. It's the Logitech Harmony Ultimate. Like I said, list for $350, available usually these days around $300. I say buy.